Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and oh, there it is. I am playing a bit of Factorio. I need to check whether is that better? Yeah, I had a look in the manual. I don't understand what it was. I think there's a setting that you can hear outside, like you know, noises in the room. So I was hearing myself versus not hearing myself, which is why it's been a bit confusing. But I also need to check to see if the audio is coming through because yeah, there we go. I did not set this up properly. Right. Coming in hot, as they say. Yes, the plan today, not least of all because I mean it's something we need to do anyway, but not least of all because I've had a terrible week and I'm completely shattered. So anything complicated or thinky, like doing space in science, for example, space in science, there you go, you see, science in space is probably beyond me today. So we're just going to clear out biters. But what that means, and what we are stood at the edge of, is actually putting the actual walls in. These represent a, let's call it a end game solution. I'm not 100% sure it will totally withstand like massive assaults. It was a system I designed in a series I did designing blueprints. It doesn't quite work, or possibly I don't remember how it works because it's currently building it and I've had to manually change these. But it's currently building it with it as being a whole single logistics network, which is not what the intention is. But I think that's because I don't remember how I was going to separate up the logistics networks. The idea is that each of these stations, and these are the full stations, they're not really meant to be, but we're in a situation where we kind of can't avoid that at the moment. But basically, they're meant to have a single logistics network, and then they'll feed all of the chests. But with how it stamps down, they just connect all together, and simple movements of just like moving that one tile mean some of the chests aren't covered. So clearly some design errors there, or something to do with the system. And I'm also getting this, it's constantly turning up with stuff, even though it's not got all the stuff. And I know what that is actually, that one. That's because I turn that off because I thought that might be the problem. So it's not reading the number of, I didn't do that. So that's fine. It's not reading the number of repair packs, so they're currently being requested, even though there are 98 in that roboport. So, and possibly more in the whole logistics system. So yes, so there's a few teething problems, which makes sense because it was a system I put together without ever really actually testing. So we will see how we get along. And we just need to continue that, basically. We just need to ring the entire base. And then it is designed as an expandable system. Because we're in the wrong thing there. That's the wrong thing there. Basically, at the corners... So it's just, it ostensibly made... The stations are how we refuel it and expand it and all that sort of stuff. So it's meant to be completely remote, which is why I want to use it. Because that's kind of what we need to get to with SpaceX. But these are the main walls. And then there's a corner. And you see it's got rail exits so that I can then build more, basically, and just sort of extend the walls up or sideways or down or what have you. So that's the idea behind it. I would stamp that down, sort of thing, and off we would go with expanding it. But we need to put all of that in, basically. Where are you not even coming from? But yeah, we have a lot of big nests, from the fact that it builds, it does big nests. But we're also going to have to do a lot of land filling. So when we get to that bit, might perhaps go and work somewhere else. But the trouble is, I kind of need the perimeter all to match up, which it should do because I've been using my rail blueprints. But you never know. Okay, so enough rabbiting. What we kind of need to do is see if I can exterminate these guys. So the problem is their ends are kind of exposed. So I'm using my temporary solution thing, but it wasn't coping, was it? So we need probably a bit more. I've still got N on. Oh. I've got too many blueprints that, you know, I've hacked together. So it's all a bit of a mess. So if we put down like another one of these here, I think I'm out of... Yeah, I'm out of green ammo as well. We're out there. I wonder if a trip back... Because the idea with the stations is they drop enough stuff to build the next... You know, you can... One of the stations you've got here is like the expander, and it will kind of drop off a load of stuff. But you have to sort of turn it on is the idea. So this one, if we turn this on, so set that to above -1, then it would start sending trains, but I don't really want to do that just yet because of the possibility of getting overrun and flattened. So what I'm wondering is ammo, basically. So we do have some ammo there. I could grab that, couldn't I? I mean, there's literally 20,000 ammo in this base. Why am I pressing the wrong button all the time? So we're hardly short. I was just wondering about going and I don't, because the point of that basically is I don't need, having built the initial bit, I don't need to go and kind of find, restock as such. The trains will bring it all here. But I need to get a system together for actually doing it, basically. So if we grab the ammos that are there, what does that give me? 800, okay. It's completely empty. I just want to put some green ammo in, basically. To cover the lasers. Why? Shouldn't be too many down here. And I've missed one. Again. And you, as I say, teething troubles with the blueprints. This one is not quite covered. So we could give you something there. Okay. So I'll get in my tank so I'm protected, because I'm the one that matters. And then we'll lob in. Oh, is there? Oh, there's a nest left or two, isn't there? Okay. So we get rid of them. And we need to kind of clear out. Can I hit anything? These down. Boo! Can't hit. Multiple nests with single shells. Efficient. Hopefully that's all of them. So we get these big congregations. These guys I can sort of wipe out as long as I get rid of the behemoths. If there are any behemoths, so there shouldn't be, because this has been here a long time. If there are, everything else I can wipe out just by driving over. Is that all of them? No, still shelling. Catch a couple of them then. One. This is the advantage of the this one of the satellite basically. Go out. Cost of this is relatively cheap in the grand scheme of things. Oh, they're shooting at some debris. Wasn't there another bit? Yeah, there we go. See? So it's perfectly fine with a more sort of normalish sort of size. That was just, oops, a bit too big. Oh, that's what she said. So, close that. Accident. Not you. Let's get the worm as well. There we go. So we're taking some of these smaller sort of bits and pieces. In there. What about you? Oh, too far away. Get you? No. Get these there. What about you? Yeah, get you. No, we can't. Get the edge of you. No. And anything else? Can I get you? No. You're going to be too far. Oh no, you're okay. Yeah, get you. No, not them. And then, I think there aren't any behemoths around here. So there shouldn't be, because it's from the very beginning of the game. Starleaf? What? Oh, it's Starleaf beech tree. Lovely. Very botanical. Ah, there might be some nests there. No, just a collection of worms. Any behemoths there? Yeah, you're a behemoth. Big. You're a behemoth. A behemoth. Dooby-dooby-doo. And you're a range, aren't you? Yeah. Anything coming in? Or are we all done? Oh, yeah. Don't know why you've gone down now. You're not going to have any better of a time, I'm afraid. Because don't have as many damage buffs as I would normally have at this stage. There's the trap behind old Vulcanite. I don't see any more lads coming in, so I'll hop in the... Eventually I might remember the key bindings. Just hop in the thing. I'm really only clearing them out kind of close to the thing, just so that I can, build stuff and it's not a problem, and then artillery can tidy up for me. Oh, that's bad. There's some up here. I think they're all far enough away. Let's go and have a look at these guys. Jink and weave. Game sounds loud to me and looks loud on the stream. Let's take it down there. 70 million. Yep, oh, let's play that better. I mean, artillery is a very expensive way to wipe out worms, but as we established in some of the previous streams, I have about 7,000 artillery shells. So, yeah. So we don't, I mean, this is roughly where I want a corner, but I need it to be in the sort of 8 chunks, 8 Roboport chunks basically that align with the thing. So that's another thing I need to work out. And the idea of this whole thing really is that I'd be expanding walls that I already built, so it like adds on. Whereas I'm kind of doing this from scratch, so it's a bit bit messy, really. No. It's definitely more way in here. Yeah. Oh, you're doing it. You are doing it. You're just lazy. Oh, because the main issue in the main base is the lack of copper. I have actually, I mean, I did a whole load of stuff. We've kind of got this to a stage where it's just trickling along. They're still doing a lot of building over here because of the things. I also reduced some of the... A lot of the problem I was having, it turned out, was because I put in so many of these, and they're trying to fill up ridiculous amounts. So these were set on like 1,000. So it's effectively 4,000 bits of steel wool. But now that that's all done, you see it's more like a steady thing, and you say this is the big draw with still needing to build loads and loads of walls. So there's that. I did also set up, for example, cannons and a big long line of meteor defences. We've got the umbrella over here, and I started doing some fancy designy stuff because that's what I want to get to in this base. So yeah, so I have been very busy. There was also, I think, I missed the capping on a couple of things, so we've got 2,000 chests where it should only be 200, for example, because it just kept making infinite numbers. But yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff here and more local. That I swapped out. This was the iron ore train, which is now just oil, so that I can build flamer fuel, and potentially, I can turn it into other oils if need be. But yeah, the base is sort of, this side of it is kind of ticking along, and we're pretty much making everything that I can make. We just researched that. So yeah, we're getting to the stage where, I've got to do the sciencey vulcanite and all that sort of stuff, which is good because I need something to push me on, really. So we're not in too bad shape. I say the bots should be doing this, but not quite got the hang of the process to get it all to happen. Cool, so I'm going to hop out and stand over here maybe. So, how many have we got? Because this needs to be... I keep getting this wrong, to be honest with you. So, if that's the one after the station, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the one after the station. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the one after the station. So the station, next station needs to be here, is the point. So I did get my maths right there. And we're going to go with a full one again. Because they're switched off by default, so it sort of doesn't matter if they're all here. I can kind of turn them on, as it were. I think I need to get the sort of positioning right so that they can build it for me, really. So if I do... So I guess I could sort of count it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So around there. That one would be where we would need to put in another one of these, I think. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. So I got that wrong, haven't I? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. So yeah, so in theory another station would be here. So actually what we want to do is the... Why am I using the rail? It's this one. So that should be the corner. So we just need to be careful about what we've got in here. And we do have a few nests, and they're quite close. And so are they. So Is he not building it because they're not properly connected? Because I did this too early. I think the plan needs to be build the next station and then separate the logistics. And at that point, the trains will come, I think. I think that should work. And in which case, because we also then need turnaround here. Yes. The turnarounds are again just for building because you don't actually really need them in the long term. So what I need to do is kind of see. This is my fix here. You see, to break up the networks. So I kind of need to move to there. Move it back again. Get rid of it. Yeah, I need a sort of fixer so that it's sort of set up so that you could just build them, and then, see how they've all flown off to do stuff. And once the next station's built, you can then, delete a robobot and put a fixer in, which could well be part of this turnaround, I think. Make the turnaround slightly different so that it's got, it's set up as I need it to be. The other thing it doesn't have is any kind of trash collection system, which is an oversight. So, do we want to go and have a see if we can take them out? I think that might be a useful thing we can do. Hello, Sankar. Welcome to the channel indeed. Hope you're having a good day. Right, let's see if I can survive this, because it doesn't look like there's anything important. There are a lot of rocks. Oh, right, so let's get ourselves repaired. So that was manageable. So we don't have as many damage buffs as I would like. I don't think we need to quite go this far. We certainly need to take them out. And I'll go down there. And so when we get to that bit, we're probably into the territory of setting it landfilling, because landfilling is so expensive in this. Yes, I'm also playing Space Exploration. Oh, good, good. How are you finding it? How far along are you into it? I'm not very far. I've done a lot of playtime, but I've not actually got that far in it. Yeah, let's see if we can take these out. I don't know about this one because it's so close to the coast. Let's see, let's see. That's a lot of worms and that's a lot of goo. Not worms, spitters. Right. Survived. This has got nests in it, I think, so I have to go and have a look at that. Cool. Oh, so I'm 300 hours in, taking it slowly. Yeah, I mean, same, to be honest with you. I sort of, I'll be totally honest, and I've said this kind of on stream before. I wasn't expecting to enjoy this as much as I am. I mean, I haven't really got to the bit that everyone complains about, which is where you're essentially doing exactly the same science steps over and over and over again. Sort of thing. So that's the nest gone. Can I not shell you? So that may change my opinion. Oh, what was that? That may change my opinion. Yeah, I got behemoth there. You see, can I? Oh, I can. And then maybe if we just sort of thin them down a little bit. Pay them another visit. Now what are? Oh, there's beans. Yes, I've been actually really enjoying it. I think it's the reason I think is because it's quite focused on like designing things and like building new bits of your base and things like that, which is kind of my favourite part of the game. And like solving logistics challenges and all that sort of stuff. Because I actually played through Bob's and Angels, but separately. I didn't play them together. And Angels I actually quite liked. I quite liked the concept of it, but then, oh yeah, this is going to be a bit of a pain, isn't it? Let's see if I can kite these away. Wipe them out. Oh, there's another one. Let's not wipe them out. Let's do a sneaky attack. Yeah, so, I mean, Bob's, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure I really enjoyed that. Because it was exactly the sort of thing that I don't like in expansions. And I've always kind of avoided them for. It's just like making machine level 15, machine level 16, machine level 40, 55. And it's just the same over and over and over again. But Angel's doing the different smelting and all that sort of stuff. That was quite fun. Yeah, they're far enough away, I think, that just leave artillery to sort them out. Where am I at science? So I have unlocked both... Whoops. That was the wrong key. I've unlocked both utility science and whatever it's called. Production science, is it? The red one. I had set up a small base on Rand, the moon Rand, to make utility... the other one, the blue one, so that I could get the bots. I was really struggling without logistics chests, the full set of logistics chests. I have not set up an equivalent for production science, so those are the next proper jobs. But I've also managed to get myself into a situation where the base is... If I leave this base, fighters will overrun it, essentially, because it's not sufficiently sort of secure. Why have you not built this stuff? What are you playing about that? Just travel. I think it's just the travel time, isn't it? Dang, we got a radar gap. That's annoying. Did I get that counting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm miles off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and then the actual station. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the actual station. So I'm 1 up. Oh, that's very annoying. Okay. Right. Yes. Yeah, so I got both utility and production sites available, but I have not really set up any proper production for them. Just a very temporary facility on Rand to get me enough utility science to get proper logistics chests, which I'm now taking full advantage of, because this wall system, shall we call it, is pretty much dependent on logistics chests. So I'm kind of catching up, is basically the point. And then once we've got this set up so that it's kind of self-sustaining. So that needs to go in there. We'll then start heading off properly to other planets, because what I want to do is build a little, like a make everything I can use on all these planets. Right, so does that mean the next one is in the wrong place as well? So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. It's annoying. Let's do this thing. Take that. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh well, I guess would that actually be? No, that would be where that needs to be. Cool. Yeah. So in terms of the tech tree, I say we've got a few things available that I don't really know what the use for is. So your hypercooling, all this sort of stuff. So I can set some stuff going. I'm just trying to avoid resource sinks just at the moment. But say we need red science for the interesting stuff. So yeah, your growth facilities and your bacons and your big mining drill and all this sort of stuff. Oh, I could have power armor. I thought that required production science. But then why would it? Oh, I'll get that then. Yeah, I'm desperate for coal liquefaction. I don't know how you've been finding coal, but it is insane the amount of coal it produces. I got the old core mining up and running, and I set these up here. These are just literally chests just to dump coal, and all of these were full. And I basically had to come and destroy them because I've just got no use for coal without coal liquefaction. Because I should, my intention is to turn it all into rocket fuel, basically. But, I can't store that amount of coal. I keep pressing the button still. Why are you not building things properly? Why are you focusing on those? Why are you not building anything? Got construction parts. In fact, why are these chests empty? Are they not sending? Disabled by control. I don't want that. Because that's the... That should be expansion. Oh, it's not set. Okay. No wonder it's not doing anything. Maybe this is much better and bigger, but I got research from 5 different planets and more science. Planets where I got Vulcanite lacks coal. Depends on planet. Okay. I wouldn't, yeah. I mean, it looks big. But I say this is not very advanced, and I'd kind of rather be more advanced. But I have a lot of stuff that, is kind of future-proof in a sense. I ended up having to refactor my entire train system, so it became, I had a lot of 1-for-1, and it just wasn't able to cope with the throughput because I put so much stuff close together. So there was a point where I basically rebuilt my entire train set of trains. Basically, I didn't do the tracks. That was fine, but so I spent hours and hours doing that basically. So yeah, mistakes were made along the way, and this is what we're trying to fix because evolution is very high, 0.95 I think, something like that. So I'm getting loads and loads of behemoths, and eventually they would just flatten the whole base, basically. But it's so big, it's going to take me ages to fit, to ring it, basically. Oh well. I guess I'm not making stuff because reasons. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Oh, I've not got my bot switched on. Oh, okay, we're shooting stuff. Is that wise? It's okay, it's just worms. Right, let's see if I can go and make some stuff. Here we go. See, train's turning up. This is what we want. It's meant to be pretty much self-building. Maybe I just need to shepherd it along a bit. Not confident enough just to leave it. So have you played the game a lot, Sanko? I mean, are you sort of a generally experienced Factorio player? Or? I have seen some people just launch straight into SpaceX. It sort of seems mad to me. But I'd sort of... it was only really when I started streaming that I actually started doing the overhaul mods. I'd always just played vanilla and just loved playing it through and, you know, launch a few rockets and start again, basically. But... streaming kind of is part of my impetus for switching up what I do, basically. Anything I can build, guys. Feeling a bit useless. Maybe we could get them balls. I've run out of lasers. What else? Too many inserters, bit of railway, rapid lights and debris. Cool. I played 2,000 hours on Factorio. I also did C Block and lots of it. How did you find C Block then? There's a space equivalent, isn't there? And somebody highly recommended that to me. I think it might just be called Space Block, but it sort of magics. So you have to suspend disbelief quite a lot because it just sort of magics the stuff out of space. I don't think it's anywhere near as kind of complicated as C Block. So we are building away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So we then got the corner. So if we end up putting a where's my straight bit? We've got straight there, but then use first one. Find nope. It is. We want the full thing. There, say. Got way too many blueprints in this. And then pop it there. Now, yeah, they're gonna attack. Just build that down to there for now. Cool, but it's 3 years ago and lots changed. Even longer ago. Okay. Does it get updated then? I guess. I never really know some of these. Because I know this one is. This is only like halfway through, isn't it? Because Erendor's obviously now a would-be employee. So I assume we'll sort of pick it up once the actual expansion's out. Kind of amazed by the stamina of some of the devs. Don't think I could develop the game all day and then kind of come, you know, go home and spend my free time developing it as well. Right, so we need to flip this back, sort of turn this off, disconnect it. So then hopefully this one will take over the job of building the next phase. Because that should separate out the two networks. And then if there's not enough bots and what have you, the whole thing should refill itself. We do probably need... in fact, I might leave... Let's get this built. And then I'll put the turnaround in. Because trains won't be able to get to it until... we're still working on Factorio. Now, I wonder if we might head home. Oops. Sort of pick up some stuff. See if we can't help speed the build along. Cool. So that's you separated. So it should call in, yeah, bots and stuff if it's not got them. I should also be able to turn this off again. And then that one I never turned on, so I don't even know if I built it, but there you go. You're fine to be there because we'll need to landfill that way. You don't have landfill, that's good. I'm picking the wrong one, I think. So we do need you to have... It's a shame there's like a green tick, but there's not really a red cross, I don't think. Yeah. Anyway, so that should... Oh, I shouldn't have turned that on yet, should I? No, that's fine. That one. It's this one I need to avoid turning on. Now, you're not going to start shooting biters, are you? Not yet. Okay. So what do you think of the expansion, Sanka? Are you keeping up with it, or not sort of paying attention? Not interested? Okay. Oh. Looks nice but expensive, okay. As in... So I'm not actually sure they've said the price, but I think it's going to be the same price as the main game. Why have you not built that? Laziness, I see. You see. Got to keep your eye on the bots. Okay, got some bits missing here. Which I guess must have been assigned, because we're not building. Okay. Now, I wonder if I can take... Where did I leave my tank? Oh. So let's see if we can do a sort of a trash run, effectively. Take some stuff down. Back to the main base, get rid of it, etc, etc. So, put them in there. That's all switched off, isn't it? Now, is it worth me having so much stuff? I guess if I also put a rail in there. Because I don't really need to rob a system of quite so many lasers, I think. No problem in them at all. Take the walls and that. Combinators is good for me to have, so I can quickly build it. Requesters and storage chests are fine. Quite enough of them. Okay. So I don't think this build actually uses too many stack inserters. We better have more of them. Yeah, rail's fine. Coal. How much? 1,000, that's fine. Oh. Right, yeah, let's go and see what's in chests. Unfinished building. I was thinking about where they're talking about expanding your base. Oh, I see. Didn't look at the expansion yet. Make little stations for the cannon train. Oh, wall. Okay. Cannon train? Do you mean the artillery train, or is there? There's a lot in this that I haven't got. You know, because I've tried to not, like, you know, spoil it for myself by just looking through the tech tree too much. Is there an actual I know, because I was surprised to get. I've got a blowing railgun, and there's like a freeze gun and a poison gun and all sorts of stuff. But we're just in chests up on the space station, so I've not actually, you know, I've not unlocked that as such. But I've ended up with them, and there does seem to be a heck of a lot in this. So I'm trying not to spoil too much for myself. Explore it as it comes. Also trying to make sure I use the mechanics. So as in, wasn't there more junk? I thought I had a load of level 1 belts that I accidentally picked up from somewhere. Are they up here? Oh, they're in that one. Okay, let's go and get them as well. But yeah, so it's been quite interesting seeing some of this stuff. Particularly, I mean, if you're playing SpaceX, the expansion won't come as too much of a surprise, I think. There's a lot of stuff in it. So, I mean, I had no experience with this whatsoever. Because I do little YouTube videos talking about the Friday Facts. And I was obviously going through them, and particularly what I quite enjoy doing is speculating about stuff that's going to be in there. And so I'm wildly speculating about all this mad stuff. And kind of getting it right. But because it turns out, you know, a lot of the stuff that's in this is going to be actually in the expansion as well, basically. Right. Yeah, hold that. So if I top the tank up. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be good fun, I think. Just put some ammo in there. Cool. Okay. So let's head back to the main base. Could probably delete these now. Probably need to keep these around as a safety thing. Artillery jar. No, I mean, I say, because it's got so many things in it, and like they've just announced that for the expansion there's going to be a missile turret, and of course lots of mods have missile turrets in it as well, so, you know, because there are cannon shells, I didn't know if there were, you know, he put a cannon turret in it, which there is in Bob's, I think, has got a cannon turret. It might be Angels, I can't remember, but and I'm pretty sure there's one in Factorio too as well. So it wouldn't surprise me, as I say, if there was a cannon firing train. You know, so that'd be quite cool, actually. Let's see if we can't Yeah, so I'll pop back to the main base. Avoid killing myself. Why is... Oh, it's not stopped. We're just waiting on trains. It's okay. Ooh. Man, you're just trying to avoid pipes. I've killed so many pipes in this. It's a bit weird actually. I'm not usually that bad at driving. Victoria. Oh, I think we're safe. Oh! What's that getting killed? Ah, yeah. The problem child. I've not used the new weapons a lot. I also like to start blind on new mods. Probably first another 300 hours of space exploration before I check the expansion. No. It's weird we can talk in these big numbers for these games. Oh, hello, Sona. How you doing? Greetings indeed. Hope you're well. Yeah, it's interesting you can, I say, sort of talk in those sorts of terms in Factorio. And particularly, I mean, I know this is famous for being at least 500 hours if you know what you're doing. But yeah, it's sort of nuts really, isn't it? Take the coal, get that. Right, let's plop down. Let's see if we've got the right sorts of things requested. Fill us up. For ages it wasn't emptying me out because there were so many jobs that I'd set for the bots that I would just turn up and I'd have to manually empty out my inventory. Feeling fantastic. I hope you guys are too. Good, good. Any particular reason? Or just having a good day? I know you said you were off on holiday recently, so I don't know. You're still well rested, shall we say? Need to get more roboports in. In fact, how many has it built? Because it was struggling to make roboports. Have we got any in stock? We have. Oh, crikey. Is that probably 300? Is that wise? Oh, there's only 3 in that one. Okay. 300? Why did I set it on 300? Oh, I know. Because these need literally hundreds. Okay. And of course we need to ring our entire base with steel. So, has it all built this in and we've got things and stuff, protection? Yes, we have. So we can now put in the turnaround and trains will start arriving. So we need to do that. And then we need to... Well, give it a minute, but if I set this to... Which one is it? Expansion, there we go. So we set that to on. I mean, I really thought it would be Planet or Asteroid gameplay info yesterday. No, I'm just usually feeling fantastic. Oh, good. I'm exhausted today, if I'm totally honest. I've had a really... I came back from holiday, and then it was just like full on, you know, for 2 weeks. In fact, you know, it's not even 2 weeks since I had my holiday, and I'm back to feeling exhausted. Luckily, I've got... it's actually a bank holiday on Monday, which I might stream on the bank holiday, because next weekend I have to miss the Saturday. But yeah, so I've then got a couple of days of the... You know, I know I bang on about it a lot, but the make-up leave from, you know, all the overtime I did. So another couple of days to rest, and then we've got a screaming deadline. And at one of the things I did this week, which is why I'm so tired, because I had to drive halfway up the country, was we had our away day, and basically I was told at the away day that the other team member is moving on, so they're moving to a different department. So I was already feeling that the workload was ridiculous for 2 people, and one of them's the other person is off basically. So I'm going to be on my own, trying to do 2 people's jobs for about. Well, it usually takes about 3 months for them to get somebody in, unless somebody wants to transfer internally, as I say. But I think they're all wise enough not to transfer. So yeah, it might be a bit intense for the next month or so. But yeah, I'm not. I guess the difference, or how I'm finding the difference is, with where I was, is that I don't mind the fact that this is going to be intense because I know what to do and I know the job and I know how to do it well and that sort of thing. Whereas the previous role I was doing at this company, I didn't. So I always felt, I doubted, my ability to do the things basically. And when you've got a million things to do, that's not a good position to be in. Okay, so we've cut that one off. This one is busy doing things. We have bots delivering ammo, so we will let them all do that before we chop this one off. But so I basically need this as a sort of correcting thing, which is a bit rubbish. Anyway. I can almost imagine that feeling. Yeah. Have they delivered any artillery yet? No, they haven't. Or is that just because the train is... Well, here it comes, literally on its way. Look at this, it's all colour-coded and stuff. I never do this stuff. Why are you not... Oh, I know why you're not... It's not unloading because it's set to count the logistics system, and because it's connected to this, yeah, which has got 20 shells in and what have you, it's counting that, so the train will be going back and forth, which, as I say, is why I need it to cut it in. I need to cut it into separate logistics networks. So let's do that then, since we've got pretty much everything else there. So I think I will do this. Do I want to do that? Yeah, let's... I don't want all of that rubbish, basically. Maybe if we just copy... Whoops. To the roboport, mate? Up to the power poles, that. And then we'll blueprint. No. Oh, we're in debris mode. No, it's not done properly. It's not copied it still. I hope it's really, I really like the concept of the remote action stuff and what have you. And I get that Arundel, he's doing it via a mod, and so it's clunky as all heck. But I hope the version that we get in the expansion is just better, because this is really quite annoying to use. So this is the turnaround after, let's call it turnaround split. So that's what we need to add on when we're separating them out. So for this one, we take out that one, and then we find the split version. Turn around split, there we go. Pop that in. We end up slightly puzzled why we've got different signals, but we have, I guess. Cool. I got a small business in agriculture, so I know the pressure. Lots of work right now, but the fields are too wet because it rained a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you are, but they were saying that in the UK that I mean we're at all the prices for the food is going to go up this summer because it's been so wet and so rainy that you know, a lot of stuff hasn't grown or has rotted in the fields basically. So it's going to make everything more expensive. Yeah, that's why they were reporting it. But yeah, it's been just rain continuously, and we don't. Certainly in the UK, we almost don't appear to be getting a summer. It just doesn't seem to be starting. It keeps having a warm day, and then it'll be, you know, nothing basically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So this one would be where we would want a station, which isn't a bad position as such, because we do want things. So what I might do, I might turn the landfill one on. Who came up with this complicated system? That's walls. That's landfill. What idiot? Oh, did it again. Big queue of trains. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Put that to 0. Should turn up with some landfill as well. Well, that's not right, is it? Because that's attempting to unload... What the heck has happened there? That's clearly wrong. That should be a filter inserter, shouldn't it? What? Because it's basically just emptied a train out and put loads of rubbish in. In fact, why isn't it a filter inserter? Okay, I wonder if I can do that like that. No. That. Do that remotely just to stop it. Oh! Yeah. Okay, so if we go in. We go. Filter inserter. Put that on there. Hopefully they'll do something. And we can set that to shells. And it won't empty it anymore. I guess we've got a lot of stuff now to do stuff with. Brilliant. That must be quite the risk. About bad year harvest could be really, really bad, I suppose. Yes, and this year is the worst in 12 years. Belgium, okay. Oh wow, that's awful. Eggs here are quite rare, so I suppose the egg industry also has some issues. You can only make the best of it. Like, you can only make the best of it. Against nature, you can't win. No. Definitely not. I'm not sure the landfill train is quite what I think it is. I think the landfill train is for building landfill. But it also has loads of landfill in it. I'm not sure that's a good idea. I wonder if... Do any of these others have landfill? I'm just being a bonker. No landfill there. I never set the landfill trains up, did I? So we're going to quickly run out of that if I keep doing that. No, this is the only train with landfill in it. And it's got the stuff to build landfill. As well as make it. So I'm not sure that's a good idea. Oh my. My bots are suddenly busy. Right, have they stopped? They've stopped me up. Let's head over. I think actually I probably want to put some of it in here. Maybe ammo as well. So let's let them. In fact, I didn't have enough. And then lasers. Let's see if they build the stuff. Bring the stuff, because I was saying they seem to have got very busy. I guess they're making walls and things like that. Okay, what happened over here? We're still requesting. I guess it has dropped off all of that stuff now. And then expansion is still requesting. Because it needs yellow chests. Right. Cool. Going to leave loads of landfill now. Yeah, I do have a lot sort of stocked up in sort of weird places. And what I was going to do was set up a train. Because there's like, for this, I've turned a load of the excess into landfill. I mean, a load is obviously very relative with landfill because you just eat through it like you wouldn't believe. But there is quite a lot in the chests over here, but there's no train to collect it, which is what I was intending. And then I do have a station down here, which is set up. We have landfill here, and that's all, as you can see, maxed out. But it doesn't drop. It doesn't have any drop off, so I've got no way of kind of transferring it to this because I forgot to put the drop off in, which is why I've got a little simple there. So yeah, I could probably force it up here, couldn't I? And have it unload. Why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? Inactivity. Oh, it can't get to its destination. Why ever not? Ah, because it's switched off. That's not a very clever idea. In fact, these don't have depot. I never did that. So they're supposed to go to depots. So that would be an activity as well. And actually, yeah, because it would then wait at the depots. I didn't do that on any of them, so we need to fix that. All set off. No, they don't need to go to depots, do they? Because these are the depots. Oh, why did I do it like this? This was silly. Because these are set to... Because the problem now I've got, if I add a depot on, then sure, they'll go to... I mean, these have got fuel to load them, you see, so they don't need to go to the depots. But the depot isn't just about fuel. The depot is about, you know, just waiting, basically. And because these are set not to be open unless there's enough stuff there, I'm guessing this lacks landfill in particular. Yeah, landfill's down negative. And I'm not properly restocking landfill. What I could do is just tweak this slightly, so this could be lower. So it'll open up earlier. But there's no point this train going to depot because it's got fuel. So we'll let it get there. Kill off the orderer. Because that's what I don't want it doing, you see. it would keep looping round, blocking everything up. Right. I'm getting a bit confused, if I'm honest. So much for a completely standalone system. And you're open, apparently. Why? Steal the yellow chests. Okay. Why have you not got any yellow chests on you? And why is it open if it lacks yellow chests over here? It's got 200. Got 200 and 200, so it's absolutely full of them over here. Why are you doing that? Because that's now heading over there. I think we're going to stick this on manual when it arrives. Wait, that's a different one, isn't it? So we have them looping back and forwards because they're not fulfilling whatever I've set up. And I don't understand why. Perhaps there is not a slot in the train to load in. Bots are trying to kill me now. I was wondering if the new Friday Facts wanted to explain a fix relevant to backers so that the mining is actually done with vehicles. Perhaps the artist tool is also used for those vehicles. I like that idea. I think we speculated before, haven't we, about, well, why has it suddenly become an RTS tool rather than a thing? I'll be honest, you know, the video I did yesterday, as well as messing up the upload, that one, which wasn't my fault, but I should have checked it properly. I was, you know, I say I'm pretty shattered, so it was a bit sort of bare bones in terms of the speculation, but thinking about it afterwards, I do think that maybe... So we've got all those chests on them. Why are they not loading? Let's wait for a train to appear. Maybe this is, yeah, the big thing with Bacchus is it gets you automated vehicles, like there are AI vehicles, basically, that you can automate, and that it feeds into this harvesting thing idea that I've got, that... Wait, stop. No. So it's got yellow chests. Okay. Why are they not being unloaded on the other end? Oh, that's the wrong place. So that's there. Disabled by control behavior. It's now got the yellow chests. What? Maybe just one of these trains is broken. Sorry, I will get to that. But yeah, I did wonder. As you say, it's sort of... It was a weird, very weird way of saying it, you know, sort of saying interaction with the unrevealed feature, or whatever the phrasing was. I don't know, it was obviously a deliberate tease, you know, it wasn't a... So why is expansion unload open? Is it literally just because I've got the tick on? Is it a flaw? Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah. Nobody. Oh, Senko, you follow me. Why did I not get a notification again? I can't figure this out. But thank you very much for the follow. It's very much appreciated. I've set another goal. I'll have to work out what the next prime is. It must be 133, I would have thought. No, it can't be 133. 137, maybe. So it's... I think it's literally because input signal is L. No, why is it getting -40? That's set to -90. Is this box? Oops. That's the wrong button. Is the box not connected to the system? Because it's got 100 and odd. Why are you back up there? What I'm wondering is maybe that chest isn't connected. It looks like it is. Because we've got -40 as a signal on the system. Okay. And put that back on. This is pumping out -90. And this has got 50 in it. What's that set to? Less than 100. Why have you not put 100 in there then? Because because there's 150 sat here, and that's going into a different. So it's part of the same logistics network, but it's not part of the. Oh, okay. No, it worked on this one. Guess maybe I didn't load things in. How very odd. Anyway, we've worked it out. We know what the fix is. We are good. Okay. Where is that? You've not built it yet. Go. Just tiny little errors like this, eh? Tiny little errors. Should be a filter inserter. Isn't. And then suddenly trains driving all over the shop all the time. Okay. I'm getting confused with the buttons again. We'll leave them trains switched off then. And we will head over. Empty that thing out. And maybe all the signals will work. Whoops. I guess it's the Avatar-like planet. We get mech suits and stuff and ruin the pretty jungle place to strip it of resources. Maybe they'll skip the romance part. Yeah. I mean, I have actually seen, so Covrex has repeated the whole, whoops, that's a train coming. Whee, that was very close. There is something controversial, you know, even more, or potentially even more controversial than quality coming. And so, I mean, that's as good a guess as any, to be honest. I can't really think what would be controversial. But then I didn't really think quality was controversial, so I'm not a very good judge of that one. But yeah, maybe romance is the thing. We're getting the ability to romance blue aliens. That would also tie up with the whole. You know, there was the thing where you shouldn't shoot, or there's like going to be a need not to shoot something, and you know, it was super vague. And maybe that's it. Maybe there's a blue avatar alien that, you know, is nice and friendly, and we can romance them or something ridiculous like that, because that's the only sort of thing I could think would be like properly controversial. But yeah, you know, you never know. It's certainly there's something going on, basically. Obviously, we know there's something going on, but there's something like properly weird cooking, I think. And it could be that it could be that there's several, you know, big mechanics on Aquilo and Bacchus, and you know, it's all getting mixed up together because we don't know what's going on. But it does feel like there's something very weird coming. And romance could be it. Yeah, we could be procreating with the local biters, maybe. Yeah. Right, so let's take all of that out. hopefully it'll put it into the right chests. And all will be good, because we now have only, well, there's only 60. So basically, I need to fill this in. I'm not intending to, in a sense, actually do that. What I'm going to do is make sure that the wall is blocked. I mean, we do need to build a bit in so we can put the station in, I think. Maybe I could just leave that, actually. Just put a radar. But just do the train line down the thing, because we'll be able to afford that. Okay, now, are you... No, you're not turned off. Are you? No, you are. Hurrah and huzzah. Yes, because you're outputting 90. You have no negatives. Awesome. Simple fix for a simple problem. Why is landfill still open? Ah, roboports. Seriously not got any roboports? Ah, disabled by control behaviour. I bet that's because we've got roboports in here. Yeah, we've got 101 roboports. Is that right? 100 roboports. Crikey. I've really gone big scale on this, haven't I? But this is not taking them out. And this is mathsing. So I think actually that shouldn't be part of that signaling system, because if it's got robobots in here, then that's fine. So, 2 little fixes that I will not remember to do. Okay. How are we doing? That would be so funny. I asked about why people thought quality was controversial, and a couple of guys just went on a rant about it. I could agree that all the quality names are not really about quality. I don't mind either way. It's even opt-in, so if you think randomness is awful, you could just skip it completely. I wonder what they think of uranium processing though. Yeah, I mean that was my point when I saw it. It was like, well, it's just a expansion in a sense of how uranium processing works. That's a percentage-based thing, and nobody seemed to bat an eyelid when that came in. So I don't really get the why it's awful reaction. I do 100% agree on the names. This is Factorio. It's a game about precision. Calling things uncommon and stuff like that when they're actually it doesn't mean uncommon is a statement of rarity. It's not of quality. But yeah, I'm perfectly happy to call them quality 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5, so I can sort that problem myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got this stationing completely the wrong place as well, haven't I? We're doing well with this. No. Is that right? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. No, yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the next station should be here, I think. Yeah. I think I already worked that out, didn't I? So if we put the first part in, since I know which one it is, I can go and work out how much. So if I just do the drop-off station, did that do anything? I think it's making a noise. Okay. We'll drive down there. A bit of landfill. But then I say the plan is to essentially just landfill for the rail. I do think, if I'm honest, we're getting to the stage where the whole quality is optional is not really true. I wonder it didn't build anything. So we got... Maybe I put it in at this one. It didn't matter if they're not exactly in the right place. I always fix it with when I'm expanding. Yeah, let's put that there. So get positioning roughly right. And then do kind of this for the too big the station area. Wants to build all that in. So how long does it need to be? But yeah, I'm not, you know, I kind of don't buy the whole it's optional thing anymore. I think it's optional in the sense of, I said this on one of the comments on the video, it's optional in the sense of you can turn it off and you can still finish the game. I don't think it's really optional if you actually want to play the expansion properly. It almost becomes more like a challenge run to play without it, you know, that sort of thing. Because, you know, especially with the beacon change, it's like, well, you know, you're going to at least want like level 1 or level 2 things, even if you don't go full bore on it. You know, level 5 quality is for mega bases, and that's all fine and good, but I think the advantage you get out of just doing 1 or 2 levels of quality on, like for example the beacons, is just going to be so huge that it's almost not, you know, you can't ignore it, sort of thing. And like for stations and things like that, it's just not, I don't think it's realistic in a sense to say that it's optional. But I do fully understand that they intended for it to be optional. And they've just ended up adding more things in that makes it not really all that optional. So if I just pop that in, I should start to get there. I think I've got enough landfill here. If I put too much. Yesterday I also thought that I'd probably prefer numbers instead of names for the quality level. Yeah. Sure, if you want the best stuff, it's not optional. And I suppose lots of players want the legendary stuff, the Spider-Tron's armor and equipment. Yeah, but I don't even think to the extent of the best stuff. I mean, quality level 1, you know, it's like 10% chance of getting the things, and, you know, even with like module level 1s. So it's just so easy to, I think, really, to get level 1 and 2 quality stuff. And the advantage they give you, it's like, you know, you're sort of shooting yourself in the foot if you don't do a little bit of it. You know, I think that's the real reality of it. And I think they probably started off with the intention that it was like a fully optional, you just don't have to do this at all, you know, type of situation. And then they've just gone, well, what if we did what does a quality beacon mean? Can we use quality beacons for, you know, to solve the beacon problems? And they've just sort of thought of use cases for it that mean actually we've kind of made it not optional anymore. But, you know, again, I don't have any problem with it being there. It's not something I dislike or anything. So I suppose I'm coming at it from that perspective rather than I must not have this in my Factorio. It's like elevated, because the reason I sort of started to think that is partly, in fact, because of elevated rails. Elevated rails are just designed, in a sense, for Fulgora. You know, because of this whole oil sands thing and what have you. Can you really say that, you know, that's a viable planet without elevated rails? And the difference is, obviously, everyone's already completely on board with elevated rails. Why is that not? I guess it's just the bit that's missing there. But, you know, I almost can't imagine playing Factorio without elevated rails because it's just going to be so hard, I think. And, you know, if that's what they count as an optional feature, something that you basically just got to have on, then I say I don't feel that it's optional. Which is to say, I'm coming at it from the perspective of I'm perfectly happy with that. So. Okay, so we'll get the rail extended down there. We then have the problem. Now, can I? Oh, I can shoot you lot. Okay. Dang. Okay. Why is there no artillery here then? Oh, because there's no turnaround. I need to put a turnaround in, don't I? Right. Anyway, build me some rail, please. Landfill, rail, and etc. Indeed, Factorio is basically has the elevated rails as a hard requirement. Volcanus is perhaps not as critical, but from all the cliffs, I guess it could be very similar. Yeah. So what did you think of the Friday Facts? It was the redo. I cut it out, I think, of the video. It probably isn't in there. The redo thing is awesome. Really love it. Great to have it. We obviously already knew about it, so yeah, it's good to get the details. But it's not anything new. It's not a new piece of information because they've already. I mean, so what I kind of split out the video was the point that when you put in Easter eggs, and they're kind of things you can work out, you know, they're not that difficult to understand. You basically spoil any proper blog posts on it. And I say there was enough detail that it was worth it, which is why I chopped a bit out of the video. But it's like, you know, if I've got enough detail to work out what's going on, then I know what that feature is, so it's not really a new piece of information. So yeah, it's a bit of an interesting conundrum, I guess, because it's like, well, the Easter eggs are all, you know, great fun, but they kind of then spoil, you know, things like that Friday Facts, really. So we need more landfill, don't we? Let's attempt some sort of circle-ish area. This is where you need super force build. I'm so looking forward to that. Why it didn't do the notification? Anyway, now will it fit in there? Let's do that. Bo-do-do. No, wrong thing. Turn around, turn around. Hopefully that'll fit. It does feel like, one of the things I would say, it does feel like, and I guess so I made this point before about almost why we're getting Like the... Yeah, it's weird then. Why we're getting the... like so many quality of life features? Because I think it's the artwork, is my guess. That it just, in a sense, isn't finished. For obviously for either of the two planets. And so they can't really talk about the features and stuff. You know, so what they're doing, I think, is pulling forward the quality of life features. And as you say, I think maybe that particular blog post was intended for afterwards, because as you say, it solves a problem, you know, the unintended feature. Crikey. Will you leave my base alone? But I don't... the bit I was a bit puzzled on was why that would be a latency thing. It must be something that's really useful for like really useful, and you know, something you would want in multiplayer, which is why they're solving the latency. Well, not solving it, but making the latency, because obviously it already has that in there. They're just making it a lot better. And why would you need to do that? Obviously it helps out people playing multiplayer, but then you've got that little hint that it's also to do with a new feature. But yeah, it does feel like a solution to a problem that we don't know about, and it would have been better after Bacchus, because we'd all gone, oh wow, that's amazing, that solves that problem. You seriously not gonna... come on. No, I'll just do it for you then. Lazy things. Right. So we have the turnaround in. So the train should start appearing. Did I put the full thing in again? Oh well. Why are you on green this time? Genuine reasons, it looks like. Okay. We will start your trains up again, but if you start going back and forwards again, I'm just gonna have to sort you out. Okay. Oh. What are you shooting at? Oh. Surprise nest. Surprise nest. To fill this in. So we have gaps. Do that. They did not extend the prediction mechanism to combat. It's probably harder, but maybe they think the vehicle control is extra important. That's what makes me think vehicles are even more important in space age than 1. You're clearing out my biter island. Look at them all there. All trapped. Let's see if we can just leave that until we get some artillery ranges. Yeah, you know, as you say, it's starting to feel like there's something like that coming. I don't see... like, maybe that is the controversial one? But it does feel a bit like there is, you know, some really big feature that we just don't know anything about. Like at all. Like they've not even hinted at it, sort of thing. Which is going to be cool. That's what I want, you know. I suppose it also comes back a little bit to the thing we've been saying about, is there a point where it's actually probably more... oh, I've lost the... Why have you gone to power? It's more fun in a sense to like just not read the Friday facts anymore, because you know there won't be any surprises left. But you know, they're not going to reveal everything. There's going to be some stuff that is like cool things revealed at the end. That was the wrong one. Was it? Yeah. What? Yeah, it's the split one. Which needs to go that way around. Can't see because it's so dark. Yeah, there we go. Separate networks. Cool. It feels a bit like it's sort of a working system, but with a few errors. And we know that this needs fixing, don't we? I think it depends a lot on what order the trains turn up in. Because if they turn up and they... Oh, that was the wrong thing. Oh no. And it's already emptied the artillery and stuff. Then it's fine. So what did I need to do? I needed to copy this one. And what was the other mistake? It was the roboports, wasn't it? So this one asking for roboports up here. There we go. I'm not brave enough to copy that into the thing. Right, to go see you later. Thank you very much for joining me, Senka, and thank you for the follow again. It's very much appreciated. Hope you go well with your SpaceX. You'll have to pop back at some point and tell me how you're doing. I didn't really ask you any tips and tricks you've got that, or suggestions on how to do things would actually be quite appreciated. Obviously, not going too heavy, but hope you have a good day. I do. Cool. Right, let's fill that bit in, and we can just sort of... No, we can't, because it needs one more. Like that. Some extra lasers. Cool. I will probably turn it into a proper full wall all the way down just for the sake of it. And we probably want to landfill basically all the planet anyway. Okay, so I think that gets us a station that's sufficiently close to the other side of the water. So what I need to do now, I'll probably have to manually do quite a lot of this, but it's fine. Right, we want... Because it didn't appear to put the ghost in. I wonder if I can do it with... No. I do that. Oh, there we go. Cool. So I got that bit. And now we just need to get it to build. In fact, let's use the blank one. There we go. So we just sort of build that. Or is that in the... Yeah, so I guess it's going to be easier if I do it. To a degree. Someone had a good point that they perhaps now want to save the juiciest bits for a ramp up to release. I still want some more content info about Space Age. So, yeah, that could be the plan. And it would make a lot of sense, especially if they're really confident about hitting the October release. Then that would make a lot of sense to do it like that. But Oh, it's not got any stuff in it. What's that done? I can't figure these headphones out. Yes, I personally think it's the artwork. I just think it's... So this station is completely empty of everything. Is it meant to be completely empty of everything? That's now separated. So why are you all on red? So that one's not arriving because we've not got that tick. I shouldn't have done that yet, should I? Because... So I'll put this one back in. Because this is the one with all the landfill in it. But I don't understand why all of these are on red. I haven't... I've got on red. On red. Why have none of them emptied anything? Oh no, they've got stuff in. Why would the logistics system... So it's got 50... Guess because I just connected it again? I don't know. I remember Donian said things take time in your chat previously. Perhaps he meant the backers reveal. Yeah. I mean, the reason I think it's about the artwork is because every planet reveal started off with almost like a story time of, well, this is you're the engineer landing on the planet, and a handful of videos showing it off, and giving lots of teases of this is what's the mechanic here, and this sand you can't walk in, but without actually saying, yes, it's definitely because it's oil sand or what have you. And so if you're wanting to launch every planet like that with a super cool video and get the hype going, if your artwork's not ready, you're not going to have the same effect. Because as they kind of showed, I mean, the music one actually shows it really well, where it's like, it didn't, Dunyan put in, this isn't what it sounds like. This is just a tech demo. This is, a sample of the technology of how it works. And everyone, including me, who read that multiple times and emphasised it heavily, and everyone went, oh, I don't like that. That sounds awful. I don't like that. Because you just can't help yourself, And so they don't want the same effect with the graphics, because it's like, I don't know, they've learnt the lesson in a sense of, it doesn't matter how much you say, this isn't what it looks like, this isn't the artwork. People are just going to take it, yes, that is the artwork. So that's why I think it's the art. Just simply because, and I said this on the thing, that it's like, it's so much that they're doing. They're basically doing 5 Nalvases over again. They're not quite as complicated, but it's of that scale. And it took them, was it 5 years in early access to build the original game? So it's not surprising. And obviously, they didn't start doing the Friday Facts for several years into the development of the expansion, but it wouldn't be surprising if it takes another year. Are bots bringing landfill? Yes, they are. Super duper. So it sort of works, doesn't it? There's obviously the errors that I've done. We could probably put in a radar already, I think. I've got any? Have we got any? Yes, I have. Let's take this down. Scarabin. How you doing? Hope you're well. Managed to get the timing right. Indeed, the artwork and music makes a big difference. Both Volcanus and Fulgura reveals had good atmosphere, and I think they were special, yeah. I say, they kind of want to do that for all of them, don't they, you know? So, I guess the problem, in a sense, is... I think what they probably should have done, to almost head that off, is not have, like, the regularity of the schedule. It feels very Factorio for them to have done that. You know, this is... We're going to do a planet reveal every 12 weeks. But if they'd done, like, you know, one planet reveal, and then it was, you know, 12 weeks, and then it was 4 weeks or something, you know, and just thrown that apparent schedule out, people wouldn't have ended up expecting it. And everyone is, like, really expecting it. And, of course, every time it isn't there, you know, it feels like there's a problem, even if there maybe isn't. And as you say, maybe they want to just get all the quality of life stuff out of the way, and then the last 2 months will be this big. Every week will be a massive new feature, and you know, here's the new planet, and here's the new building, and here's the new mechanic, and here's the new this, and it'll be really intense at the end. But it does just feel like they wanted to spread it out more, and you know, they're a bit behind with the artwork. But you never know. So yeah, this kind of works, but also kind of not. Because it's a bit dependent on the bots building everything. So, we're going to have to do this again here. And all the way down there. That might not be very fun. How far would that be? Okay. Sort of work. We're not far enough over, are we? I guess we kind of are. But it'd effectively be... I mean, the biters wouldn't be able to repopulate that because the artillery would cover it. I should have looked at this properly because I think really we should be a bit further over that way. Maybe coming down there. Yeah, there would be better because then I would be on the outside. Oh well, that's what the expansion is for. I've got to go right the way around here. This could take ages. Right, okay, fine. Okay. Coming. And all good beside a migraine, but there's not much I can do about that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What you been up to? Speculating about Friday facts? Pretty much, yeah. I've been doing a lot of heavy work. I've had a heavy workload just recently, so most of my kind of waking hours have been focused on work, basically. And then I had to go up to Birmingham, which is essentially a full day of travel for a company event thing. So yeah, I'm a little tired today, if I'm honest. Didn't manage to do half my chores, but we have a bank holiday in the UK tomorrow, on Monday, and then I've got a couple of extra days, so should be okay. But yeah, I've kind of not done a great deal of anything this last couple of weeks. That's built in. What I'd like, if I'm honest, and I've said this before, I'm actually okay with not finding out about planets or any of that stuff. What I want is the release date. Because then I can book all my holiday in and plan, you know, to spend a month basically playing Factorio. But at the moment I can't quite do that. So you don't know? Do you know what or do you have triggers for your migraines? I used to know someone who at a previous thing they had migraines and they never worked out what their like triggers were, and I don't think some people know or have them, as it were. And yeah, she would just occasionally, you know, it was really random. She would just suddenly sort of dash off to the toilet because then she could be in a sort of a dark room, like, you know, dark quiet room for a little bit. Call her husband, and you know, he would come and pick her up, sort of thing. But yeah, it was always sort of really sudden and without any kind of. Because some people it's like dairy and stuff, as I understand it. But yeah, just sort of hit her. A bit puzzled why I'm building that rather than the bots. Guess they're just in transit all the time. If I set this to on, so that's what we want. And now I take this out, because they're having to come quite a long way. Which one do I need to delete? Which one is it? So it's the one, that one there. So let's separate them up again. Oh, the restate would be nice and painful. Cutting down days like for Christmas. But as you said, it would be really helpful for planning vacation days. Let's see what happens. I mean, this is turned on now. Train has been and gone, I guess. But I haven't emptied any of that stuff. Oh, that's wall unload, not. Okay. It's all very clever, this compact system, but it's a bit confusing. Whoever put this together should be taken out back and given a stern talking to. What we do have is a little bit of a biter situation. Can I get rid of these? I can. This is my revenge now, because they've been constantly nibbling away at this. Getting right on my nerves. I now get to obliterate them all. Crikey, look at all these worms. Right. It's gone. In fact, don't bother that. Just needs to be kind of in this sort of range. See? You're getting shot from up here. Why are you attacking that one? Stupid things. One of the, I was pointing out the flaws in my own theories, because obviously I've been saying that Bacchus is going to be all about military stuff, and that's where you get like explosives properly, and you know, rockets and all that sort of stuff. And it does still make sense, because even without, because the flaw with it basically is that I think I've over killed them, haven't I? Is that if you've got no biters, then there's no impetus to get any military stuff, because you know, what are you shooting? Well, actually, you need to shoot asteroids no matter what. But do you really need? And this is one of the other reasons I think there's an exclusive resource in the asteroid field, because otherwise, why bother getting the high level military? You know, why have rocket turrets if all you really need to do? That's a colonization group. I can't shoot it. If all you need to do is protect your space platforms, you don't really need that much military stuff, I would expect. You still need a bit, so it forces you to do the military sciences, etc., etc. So, am I going to be able to bring my tank down here? Or am I going to have to drive all the way around? So yeah, sorry, that's why I think it still works, but still, if it's the military planet, it's like, I know there's all the theories about harvesting biters and like farming them and that sort of thing, but you can turn biters off. So how would the whole planet work if you literally turn biters off completely? It just wouldn't, would it? So it can't be that, or there's going to be some more radical trend. And I say that could be the controversial bit, is what I'm thinking, is that the controversy is that actually you won't be able to turn biters off. You have to have them on. I could imagine that causing a real stink. But yeah, it's... Yeah. No. Oh! You've been gobbing up my pots, have you? Dirty little... No, it's because it's behemoths. You leave my poor little pots alone. You leave my poor little pots alone, you little monsters. With rockets, you warm up the bias planet to farm mushrooms royal, obviously. Definitely. Yeah, well, maybe the controversy is that you've got to use nuclear bombs to cause a you know, to heat up the atmosphere, so that you can thaw out Aquila. So we sort of ramp up the scale of our ecological disaster that we're causing. And across however many, 5 planets. I mean, we're absolute monsters, really. We're basically turning up, exterminating all the wildlife. And then completely devastating their ecosystem. And our space age expansion lets us do that across 5 planets rather than just the one. It's alright though, because the biters are ugly, so I think they deserve to be like this. Plus, in my headcanon, they're an invasive species. That's a lot of worms. Oh, you stop spitting it. Okay, I think that's probably... Ooh, hello. How you doing? Where would you have come from? Where would you have come from? Ah. You're new? I shoot you. Oops. No. No. Makes me think the humour in Hell Dives 2, where you basically just annihilate the native aliens, and there are voices like your lines of "Here's democracy." Yeah. Yeah, got to spread peace throughout the galaxy. There's there used to be, so you might have heard the expression. So basically, during the Cold War, not during the Cold War, during the British Empire, there was something. Well, going way back, you had it with the Romans. There was something called Pax Romana, which was basically the kind of idea that because Rome was so utterly dominant militarily and basically went round and conquered everywhere, what that then meant is that you had peace, because there was one dictator, essentially, in charge of everything, ruled the entire world as they knew it to be. And so you kind of don't need war, because there's just them, stomping on any rebellion, effectively. And everyone actually prospers, in quotes. They didn't, obviously, because of slavery and etc. But and right to self-determination and all these sorts of things. But Pax Romana was peace due to Rome's massive dominance. You then had a very similar thing with the British Empire, because Britain basically has fought innumerable wars with Spain and France, and I didn't fight too many with Holland, but slightly different situation, that one. But effectively, you ended up with a situation where Britain was just the dominant world power. There was only one superpower at one point, and that was Britain. And so you had sort of a period of peace, and it was only with the rise of kind of America, and it's quite far apart, aren't they? And Russia, obviously. Then that's when the world entered a dangerous period, because you then have two equally powerful, if they were difficult to work it out, but you then have two kind of dominant two superpowers, and then they basically fight, and so you get all these proxy wars going on. So your Vietnam and your Afghanistan and all these sorts of places are proxy wars, because they can't fight each other directly, because they'd end up in nuclear exchange. That's what Ukraine is, in a sense, in a nuclear exchange, which would wipe us all out, and they're both sensible enough to know not to do that, because they'd both lose. So you sort of get a odd situation. So I completely lost the point I was making. No, I can't remember how that was. I was going to tie that in, basically, to what's the only come up? Oh, the Hell Divers thing, yeah. What was the point I was going to make? I can't remember. Just listen to how happy everyone is now that we've threatened their lives if they claim anything else. Yeah, what I was going to say is, and it's not really quite related, but the other way of thinking about it is more like the mafia. So effectively, you're in a protection racket situation. It's not really peace. It's a protection racket where, this dominant entity, the mafia, is just the biggest, you know, a-hole around, basically, and is willing to use violence to solve any problem. Why? So why my bots not? Oh, they're not switched on. But I don't know why. Why is this not working? Basically, you know, why is it not delivering robots and? Oh right, you're doing something, are you? Okay. Because there's 137 construction robots. There's loads of landfill. It's not dropped any of this stuff off. Disabled by control behavior, which is that one. Because it's getting those signals, but then that's for that one, isn't it? So why are you not? Ah, that's the expansion. And it's not switched on. Okay. So now it's going to bring you in. And you're happy because you've got landfill. Okay. Right. Just casually standing on the railway track. But yes, I say the alternate. You know, it's one particular interpretation of. Oh well, the world was at peace because you know there was this powerful force in the world. But the other way of looking at it is that well, the world is at peace because there's a big bully who's going to beat you up and take your lunch money if you do anything that they don't like, basically. So perhaps it's not quite as altruistic and good as that view presents. I think we will literally just stick a thing in, even though it's not necessarily numerically the right place. We will pop one of these in. Which one have I just put in? Just the artillery. I think I'm just going to put full ones in for all of them. And then I'll keep forgetting that some things aren't turned on, some things are. So the risk here is me... So the trains won't arrive to fill up with artillery until I put the turnaround in. So we are safe from that point of view. That gives me then the opportunity to do this. Put them in. So hopefully we've got some defences in place. I'll go and wipe them out, I think, because I can't. Oh, I can. I guess the issue was just not having enough shells then. Okay. Look at this. Polarisation group, I think. Yeah, coming out of there. Oh, we have got polarisation indeed. Should probably in that letter as well. Where's my tank? Where's my tank? Yeah. Oh. Here they come. Doing things. Being useful. Grar. Who said Grar? Is it really 520? Wow. We should run a sweepstake when we get to find out about backers events. Should maybe do a poll or something like that. People don't really engage with it. It's just... How many weeks to backs? Well, no, ultimately, I mean, how many weeks off is October? So if they do try and hit the end of October, where are we? What the heck month is it? Well, it's effectively June, so June, July, August, September, October. So that's 5 weeks, isn't it? So 20 potential Friday facts. Ish. 22 or something. Yeah, which it's, you know, so if they were evenly spreading things out, really does emphasise that it is late. Ah. Fire monsters. Oh, God. That's not gone well. No. Run away! Run away! Let's kite them towards where I know there's actual defences. Since they seem to be following me for a very long way. They don't really do that. What's a beautiful? Behemoth. Right. But yeah, if there's only 20 weeks left or so, then dividing it up, you say one, they evenly distribute them, so it would be 10 or so weeks if it had come out this week between. So if they do it in 2 weeks' time, that'll be sort of 8 weeks between. No, 9 weeks between. Yeah, interesting to see what they do. Right. What I could do, we could just stick in some landfill, because this one's got landfill in it. I could fill that as well. Oh, I have to do it on. Maybe I could zoom out on it. Do it quickly. Then put. Oops. No. Everyone's mixed up again. Korea. Anything I can build with this. I need a hand. You need a hand. This wall is terribly positioned. Because we're going to be inside that as well. Why did I start it here? It should be up here. Or at least inside that. To the same level. I guess I can use this to test out expanding it. If we put a couple of extra rows of track in and then take it over, I can see how easy it is to actually move it. So it's untested, this system. But yeah, I'm basically about to build a wall inside my existing wall, which is just daft. How are we doing? So what's it built in? We're missing... Oh, of course we're missing. This is also an error. It's got a... what do you call it? Long... big electric pole where it should have a substation. I'm not actually sure that this isn't meant to be on the inside. I barely know what month it currently is, but there are several months before release. Also being disappointed several weeks in a row. Now, without backers info, I guess they'll reveal it in June or something. Again, it's a weird thing, isn't it? It's like, at no point did they ever say it was, you know, they would be doing a reveal of this planet in, you know, in April or May or anything like that. It's just people, because it seemed like a regular cadence, you know, that it was happening at the same sort of time between updates. People have then gone, right, well, that must mean, you know, just add on 12 to the last one and you'll get the new date. But they never said they were doing it. Where do I want clearly there? It's quite a gamer thing, that, I don't know. It's sort of being disappointed about something that, you know, was never said to be happening anyway. Because you got so hyped about the thing that was in your head, you know. So, I mean, artillery's coming, that's good, and I need to do the corrections, don't I? So, first off, obviously I will correct the blueprints at some point, but first is this one, which is the one there. Why did that not work? Because I'm in the wrong mode? No. Yes, because I'm in the wrong mode. No. I'll just do it in person. Yeah. Oh no, it didn't work though. Interesting. Oh, you're going to shoot the ones at the back, are you? Let's hope there's no nests spawned in there. Otherwise we might be in trouble. What was the other thing? The other thing was this. That. And we also needed to make sure that expansion unload is a yes, because all we're doing is expansion. Excellent. It's not going to unload because it's still connected to the other one where there is lots and lots of artillery, so we need to do that fix. I want them all to finish off, you know, filling up the ammo and stuff first. Cool. Oops, I meant July, Boris. Us knows finding patterns and overthinking things, everything, yeah. Especially, and this is one of the things, it's even worse for a community like Factorio, I imagine, because it's the types of players. I was kind of there's an expression in game dev, or a truism, I guess, that players will optimize the fun out of your game, and it's a reflection of the, should we say, the type of people that the gamers are. That they look for those patterns. They analyze things. They review. And not every game's like this, but that's not an uncommon thing. That you work out the optimum strategy. Every multiplayer game there becomes a meta, and then the game devs want to freshen things up, so they change. They make some buffs and improve certain things, and change the meta, and the act of working out what the best strategy is fun in of itself. So so it works. But I always kind of think that Factorio players are kind of almost one of the worst examples of that, or also the best, in that they're generally, because of the nature of the game, they're generally going to be that sort of analytically minded type of person. It's like the thing they always say, that Factorio is kind of like software development, itself. Playing it is like developing software, and lots of the players are in those sorts of fields and that sort of thing. So if you then try and manage that community and you set up some patterns, they're going to dig in and find those patterns, and work out what your strategy is for timing, and and it's sort of the nature of the beast. But it means that you get a double-edged sword of, they're therefore going to talk about it a lot. I mean, the Discord is continuous on speculation about things, and I do videos on it, and you've got multiple YouTubers who do similar types of things, digging into the detail and talking about it, blah blah blah, which is great. It then means that there's a constant buzz. But if you do something like that, where you break your pattern, or you introduce something like quality, which is a totally different way of playing the game, sort of thing, you get potentially a negative reaction. So it's a sort of a double-edged sword of, well, they just auto-hype themselves, but you've got to manage that hype, I'm just watching it clearing out the biters. After all the pain in the bum these guys have been, it's nice to see them just getting obliterated. There's one little biter down here. You having fun over there? Just chilling out? Yeah. I think that's all that cleared. Cool. And off it pops. It does the expansion. Apparently it's just a bit of rail for the time being, because we will then we might have to do some tweaking with this. Then put the adjusted version in, which goes there. No, it looks like it's all going to fit. We'll split this one off and go build the next one. When I've looked for dev spoilers in Discord channel, I often see people arguing physical properties and values of different substances, and how realistic Factory is with scale, etc. I'm just thinking, well, it's a game. Also, many programs there. Yeah, it's it's a strange thing, isn't it? the one I always come back to, and I have said it loads of times, is the nuclear power plants thing. It's perfectly fine for you to walk around with stacks and stacks and stacks of nuclear power plants, gigantic, great, building-sized structures. That's totally fine. But if you introduce a random mechanic about, that involves dice rolling to see if you can get quality, iron plate or something, then that's the worst crime against humanity. It's like, if you're going to demand realism in one place, then, or like the people were saying, I mean, I know they were saying it jokingly, so it's not quite the same, but the sort of thing of seen the Foundry on the space platform, and the animation of Foundry has liquid being poured on it. And it's like, well, that couldn't possibly work. Well, no, but, you know, you can't just take what we got. What's a good example? Yeah. Well, I suppose it's gears in the base game, but you can't take a bunch of gears and an iron plate and suddenly make a transport belt. That doesn't work. So yeah. Even more stuff is coming in. Guess we've now separated it up. That's all good. What I'll probably do a tidy up and sort of, you know, remove a lot of this stuff once it's all built, so that we can recycle it back into the system and it's not all trapped there. So it is the bit that is missing from this whole build. But it is feeling fairly automated-ish. You know, some errors and bits and pieces that are wrong, but it's not far off. Okay, so if we were to try and put this in the right place, if that's the right way it is. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it'd be 8. So we would want the next station there, ideally. It feels like maybe I should push it down a bit so it's nice and close to the water, and then we can expand down again. Yeah, I think that's sensible. Exactly. It always makes me think of this is too unrealistic, even for Factorio and the Friday Facts. About space logistics, when they mention they can't transport rockets inside of rockets. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the very absolute most obvious example, isn't it? I mean, I can take a chest, a steel chest, which is apparently big enough to hold 48 stacks of chests. So it's got the physical capacity to hold chests that can hold, it's like a recursive thing. Because it's like, I could put 48 stacks of 50 stacked steel chests into a steel chest. How does that work? Unless it's some kind of weird pocket dimension, these have to be physically big enough to store enough stuff. Do you know what I mean? It can't possibly... A steel chest itself has to be so physically large that it can have all of those bits of stuff in it. But then I can put, what would that be? I can't remember. I can't do the maths in my head, but it's like thousands and thousands of items worth of stuff, like folded into itself. So yeah, you have to take some of these things with a pinch of salt. How we doing? I'm getting to chip in now, do some of the building. Make me feel useful. So yeah, I'll probably need to put a radar in. Slightly extending this. We need another radar. So if we try and put the next station. So let's do that. So let's see it on the map. If that was to be the turnaround point, then you could maybe do a bit of landfill there. So that was to be the turnaround point. Then actual station. There's the photos. Link to it there. Oh, it might be alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so it's a bit lower down than it sort of should be, in quotes. Let's hop out. Where's the radar? There it is. No, we don't need a radar. Right. Let's find a good place for a radar. So that's turned up in, yeah, it's probably unloading the things. We will make ourselves busy clearing these out. I should have gone and just killed them, shouldn't I? Because it's a very expensive way of doing this. But... no, it's right there as well. Nice to be able to just exterminate them, really. To all the problems they caused me. Right. Where would the next... bit further down, okay. Have you got land for... you haven't, have you? So I need this one to have land for. Didn't turn that on, did I? Missed a couple. Is that far enough down? Oh. Yeah. Oh. The weird kinky ones are because, like these ones here, because there's where I would have the normal walls, it would be mismatched. So the normal wall builds, like these ones, the idea was that you'd have all of these pre-built, you see. This is what I would be expanding upon, which I don't have, because these are also chest dependent. Yeah, logistic chest, so I couldn't build those. So we kind of lack the initial infrastructure, which is what's making this like even more painful, basically. See, because like that's got roboports on it, but I couldn't build them. Well, I could build roboports, but I couldn't build the chests to move stuff, so it was all a bit pointless. Oh, actually, I'm looking for the bit with the walls on the string. There it is. That one there. There's a little gap missing there. And I need to jump in the tank, drive around, see if we've missed anybody. Cool. I wonder where my little friend went. In fact, I could do this with the radar. Let's go around and check. Looks like it's all okay. Not radar, satellite. Yep, doesn't look like there's any missed bits in there. Nice. Oops. So, not robot. Consolidation. Right. I have misplaced something there. So that was not alarm. That's better. Cool. Why are you not building this yet? Ah, because I didn't put the turnaround in. That in. Rains come. Let's split that off now. If they're... No, I can't. I need them to build that first, don't I? Cool. See, this doesn't have any like walls on it, basically. Gates on it. Because the idea with this is because it's kind of based on the learnings I did from my Mega Base series. I tried to do outposts when I was doing that Mega Base, and it was incredibly painful. Because the difficulty is firstly clearing out. You know, if you say, right, well, we want this copper patch. That's tiny. We want that copper patch, and you want to build an entire outpost around it. We've got to clear out a big old area of biters. And so I designed a system where basically it's like a really impregnable fortress, and a bunch of artillery would show up and just explode things out. And I've mentioned this before. There's a whole comical thing where I managed to blow up my own outpost with explosive rockets on Spidertrons, but nothing happening here, is there? I've just realised it's not been researching. But also, it was just incredibly painful to set these outposts up. And then what happened is that the behemoth biters, you know, they would spawn some nests in, because I'd initially not intended to cover the entire rail system with artillery, and it wouldn't have sort of mattered even if I did, because the behemoth biters can take a hit from like a 1-4... Was I using 141? I think I was using 282 or something like that. But a train going at full pelt, full cargo, can hit a behemoth biter, and it basically shrugs it off. It doesn't kill it, you know, even with nuclear fuel maximum speed. So, why is this not researching? What are you waiting? Oh, that says 8. Oh, it's 89% to doing that research, is it? Why is that not doing anything? Missing science packs. Red, green. So, oh, it needs the blue ones. Okay. And you're not making them because you've not got them. Oh, wait, have I filled up my chests again? Yeah, I've not got any chemical gel. I've got to set up a petroleum. Just that one. There you go. Got to set up a return system for blooming barrels. Arundel needs to rethink this. How about liquid cargo rockets, Arundel? There's a good idea for you. And these are almost full as well. Yeah, so the behemoth biters were like taking these hits from the trains, and it would then just stop the whole system, because the train would stop and it wouldn't get. This is where you need your interrupts and all these things are introducing, because they would just stop, and you'd have a train then stranded, and it wouldn't like plough into the biter and slowly kill it. It would just stop, and the biters would eat it, and so entire trains were dying. And so outpost was just, I just realised outposting is not the way to do a mega base or anything big. You just need walls that you expand. Of course, you don't have to do proper walls and stuff. You can just defend empty space, but I like walls, so I'll put walls in. Okay, so you're now on the road to success. Shouldn't I be able to see that? Yeah, so I say it was kind of a big learning. And so these walls are not designed to have you going outside, basically. Once you've got a built perimeter, you just expand your perimeter. So if I want this iron up here, where is it? Lost it. There. So I want these iron patches, I'm just going to have to move my perimeter north. Hello, Reckon Magician, how are you doing? Sorry, I didn't spot the live the chat. Just getting on my hobby horse again. My multiplayer friend was just complaining the other day that driving without latency was awful. Literally the next day they announced the update. You must have brought it into action then, into reality. I play multiplayer with a friend, and he's in the States. He gets horrible lag issues, but a lot of that, to be frank, is because his machine is very old. But I'm hoping all of those improvements will also help with the whole multiplayer. I host it, you see, and so I don't really experience any lag issues. I said that in my video. I've never, literally the only time I've had anything like that was that Megabase series where, and that was just because I designed it horribly and it was UPS, so late, it wasn't really latency so much as just me building something that didn't work properly. So yeah, I've never really experienced the lag, but I can imagine driving would just be horrible. But he obviously he gets lag and it's horrible to play with, but he doesn't tend to use cars. He mostly does like pack strains, so he'll have he builds a little train for himself, two-way train, and then he'll just hop on the train and go where he needs to go. And luckily, when we build, usually we've got track pretty close to everything you'd want to be close to. But yeah, I'm a bit of a driver. You're full because reasons? I never did the edits on this, did I? Let me get rid of that. That's fine. Yeah, I didn't put the in. Where's that gone? Let's do that. Oh. What was the other thing? So there's that one there. I must have already turned that on. I also did outposts. They got supplies for repairs from a train, but it rebuilt walls and laser turrets constantly. I wanted to be able to build the outposts themselves faster, though. It was a sign. I guess Bacchus is still in the development oven, hoping we see it soon. Yeah, I was saying earlier that I think it's the art. My feeling is it's probably the artwork or something like that, because every planet reveal they've done, I guess apart from Nalvis, technically, I don't think they did a video on that, did they? But they've done the set of videos, and it's like presented as a story, and hints about things without saying stuff, so that the next blogs can talk about things in more detail, and give it a bit of dramatic flair. So if you're in a stage where you haven't actually done the new terrain, you know how it works and you know what it's going to look like, but if you've not actually done it, you haven't got all of the tessellating bits of terrain and what have you. And like, for example, if there's something like the alien buildings, where they needed loads and loads of models to do that, although some of them are sort of pinched from here. But if you want to do stuff like that, say for example Bacchus is a water planet and they want to do tides, there's bits of the land that have tides on them and you have to build walls to stop, there are all these mad ideas that people have got. Well, if you want to show any of those off, that artwork has got to be done. Because if you do it and it's just a grey box, and you're like, there will be a tide here. It's pretty naff, you know. So I think it's the artwork that's just not, you know, they know what they want to do. It's just that thing of the hours and hours and hours needed to build it all and make it all and do all the animation and blah 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 blah. Mean that they're not confident, they're not comfortable putting it out there. So I think it's that rather than anything disastrous. But people have, have now come up with a theory that, they're trying to back end load it. They have it; it's all done and it's all ready to go. But they're going to do, the last 6 weeks is just planet and mechanic and new building and planet and mechanic and new building and just like really intense. I don't think that. I got lag in my 500 science per minute base when I used artillery train bombardment. All right. All the biter calculations took a big old bite at my UPS. It's horrendous, the biter stuff. That was the other thing that kind of killed my mega base, is it had biters on, and the calculations it was doing just for them to be there, sort of thing, was just bonkers. I made a chunk-aligned wall blueprint using all 4 turret types. Logistic networks and rail. I called it Mixed Martial Carts. That's a great name. As in carting resources around. Excited SA where I have even more items to cram into it. Yeah, rocket turrets are going to be great fun. I kind of hope why are the trains taking so long? I kind of hope the nuclear thing is like viable with them. You're sat there, blocking the way because you can't get back. Oh, it's off again with this. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Maybe I just take the restriction off altogether. This is this thing that I'm basically not making landfill, and I'm not delivering it. So yeah, if we just literally put this to 100, so the train will go away. Yeah, off it goes. Yeah, I want to see Bacchus 2. 3 to 5 months left, but I don't know how long since Bacchus was revealed. Or Volcanus, yes, of course. There's announcements of SA, then 11 Friday Facts to Volcanus, then 10 Friday Facts to Volgora. We're now on 12 Friday Facts since Volgora. I mean, technically we had an Alvis in the middle there, so maybe that's what they're timing it off of. It's actually with an Alvis reveal it counts off of, maybe. Volcanus was in late November. Time flies. Rocket turrets have a 36 max range, and legendary bumps that to 54. They can even outrange behemoth spitters at that point. Oh, right, okay. It'd be pretty expensive making legendary rocket turrets for your entire base, though, wouldn't it? That feels more like an application for whatchamacallit? Space platforms, so you can take out the whatchamacallit? I'm losing my words. It must be it is, it's 6 o'clock. Take out the massive asteroids at a reasonable sort of distance. Where is... There it is. There it is. Put that in. Have you filled up with any artillery? No, not at all. Cool. Artillery is the real answer to the behemoth worm. Navas Train was just 2 weeks after the Fulgora gameplay for Artifact Sales, so it can't really be that then. Bacchus is indeed some wet jungle world full of fauna, but have the most graphic intensity, so checks out the revealing it last. I hope for a planet where there is like one powerful opponent at a time, like a lava worm underground. Well, that'd be cool. Also, Volcano seems the most similar to Nauvis gameplay, and Fulgora is a big step away. I wonder if Bacchus will be really divergent. Well, that is the thing, isn't it? I say Cavrix has been repeating it on the Discord, that there is some super controversial mechanic that's coming. So There's only 2 planets left, so it's either got to be Bacchus or Aquilo that's on. We're popular now, you see. All the trains coming in. Have you unloaded actual artillery into the... No. Guess you're stuck. Unloading. It's unloading a lot of rail, isn't it? Why do I need 1,000 rail? I think I need to rethink some of these numbers. Oh, by the way, I want to see a Warhammer 40k ship in the background on space platforms, but make it super rare. That'd be cool. They don't really go in for... I mean, obviously they put the Easter eggs in the Friday Facts, but they're self-referential, don't they? There's obviously the So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, which is obviously the Hitchhiker's Guide reference, but there aren't too many that I'm aware of references in the game. Maybe the controversial thing left is that they moved the... I say that, or you can't turn biters off because you've got to have them for farming them on Bacchus or something like that. I think that would definitely cause, and I'll be totally honest, I might even not be happy about that one. Because I think that would be a terrible move. I guess maybe you could have them on still, but you know, put them in peaceful. So that would be the, you know, get out of jail card, as it were. But yeah, I think they would cause some consternation and gnashing of teeth. Okay, cool. So we've done that segment there. What's that, about a fifth of what I need to do? Crikey. And this isn't even in the right place, so yeah. Big job. I will possibly do some more. I doubt it because, as mentioned, a bit tired today, so didn't do any of the jobs I was meant to do. Where's my schedule? There we go. I made a post with the scrap reveal saying, like, you have to shake up gameplay. I don't just want 20 more recipes for its own sake. New mechanics are the lifeblood of a sandbox automation game. So integrating combat in some way would be nice. Good points. Yeah, I agree. I say, you know, I'm looking forward to quality in that, and I like the sound of Fargora. It would be good, I think, to have something that is genuinely very, very different. It's obviously very difficult to guess what that might be, but it would be great to have a properly different way of doing things that it kind of shakes things up. Okay, yes, so tomorrow we will be back, same time, same place, same game, and I say I'll try and play a bit more, but because I didn't do a lot of stuff today that I should have done, I'll probably end up doing that all tomorrow morning. It is, however, a bank holiday in the UK on Monday. Again, I have quite a lot of chores to do, but I don't really have any particular plans. And next Saturday, as it says there on the schedule, I won't be streaming at all. So I might do a sort of makeup stream on Monday, but I'll kind of confirm that tomorrow as to how much I've got done. If I do, it would be at exactly the same time. It wouldn't be a divergence. And that way, it just 3 to 6 stream as per usual. As I say, next week I will not be streaming on the Saturday, but I will be streaming on the Saturday, and of course it will be more space exploration. And because I know this is, I mean, it suits me today in particular, the combat-y, warsy stuff, but it's not the most thrilling content, so I will try my best to kind of finish that off, and we can start doing actual things in actual space now that if we're properly defended and properly safe from biters eating my base. What else? Yes, so I did have a problem with this week's Friday Facts video. Oh, well, I guess that's the other thing. I usually promote my my YouTube channel where I put, where's the, somewhere there, where I do weekly Friday Facts read-throughs and speculations. I did have a problem with it this week. It didn't upload properly. The upload failed, so I had to reload it. So if you were waiting for that, you think you've not seen it, it's not appeared in your feed, it could be because the algorithm's done a thing. So if you want to hunt that down, if you are one of my regular viewers, then you will have to go and find that, because it might not appear in your subscription feed or homepage or what have you, because the algorithm doesn't tend to like you uploading, turning off, re-uploading videos. So it may be a bit funny in that. It's another fairly techie one, I would say. So there is no big planet reveal, etc. So if that's the sort of stuff you're interested in, I'm afraid that they've not done that this week. But it was quite a fun one. And there is a nice speculation point as well about a as yet unrevealed mechanic that somehow relates to latency of vehicles for some reason. Yes, and then there's a big archive of VODs I've done for this, this game, this series, for SpaceX, but also my Mega Base, Blueprint series, the Aesthetic Factorio series, which those last two I will revive when we get Space Age, and I've played it through a few times. But then, other mods, so K2, Angels, Bobs, loads of Factorio if you wanted some background to have on there, and also then playthroughs of games like Satisfactory, Tectonica, Dyson Sphere Program, all the sort of popular building and management games if you wanted to check any of those out. But yes, the main thing I usually do and promote is the Friday Facts videos, which are a lot of fun to do, and if that's anything you would be interested in watching, then you can find those there. I think that's everything. Next week, tomorrow, Monday. Yeah. So there we go. So if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.